This is my first video ever, a Roblox video I made at 10 years old. I made hundreds of these videos because my dream at the time was to be a YouTuber. Then being a YouTuber seemed like the perfect job. You got paid to be yourself and to make videos online about the things you liked. Did you know nearly 9 in 10 people want to be a YouTuber? That's around 1 billion people on Earth. Out of those people, only about 4% start a YouTube channel and then, keep going. And then can you guess how many become successful? 0.03%. So out of every 1,000 people watching this video right now, maybe one will make it. Maybe. Very important word, because 0.03% is super low. Like if you had a room of 3,000 people that all made videos about things they were passionate about, only one would make it out to be a successful YouTuber. Why is that? Well, I want to become a successful YouTuber, so I want to find out what drives success in YouTubers in the first place. And really, what do you need to do right now, or what skills you need to have to even be able to achieve this? And actually, what I found is pretty interesting. Hard work isn't the most important thing. Neither is intelligence. Being smart. Don't worry, I'm gonna explain everything in detail, but basically in this video, I'll share what I found, and then I'll show you my own results in content creation and what worked for me, and finally, how to apply this to your own channel. Okay, so here's what I found. Out of 3,000 people, only one of them succeeds. And that person isn't the smartest, nor the hardest working. Really, it can be a mediocre person in terms of skills, but they do something very different. When we grow up, we learn to set barriers. Like, for example, when you learn about gravity, you also learn you can't fly. When you learn about math, you also learn about the possibility of things, and you realize just how little of a chance everyone has of succeeding. And I'm not talking about, buying a house, getting a good job. I'm talking about incredible success, like becoming the #1 best-selling author in the world or being the best actor to ever exist. You get the idea. Basically, that one person out of 3,000 doesn't have something that everyone else lacks. It's actually the other way around. They don't have something. And that's the barrier. They're delusional. This has been the #1 driver for success for pretty much every single important person in history. They didn't believe in the odds. They just ignored what was right in front of them. And that's the harsh reality that they'll probably never be successful. 1 in 3,000 is super rare. To put that into perspective, imagine a beach. 1 in 3,000 is the exact chance of you finding one specific grain of sand. Not a random grain of sand, a specific one. Yeah, but basically that's what's stopping us from even trying. And here's something I realized. Life is kind of like a slot machine. And I'm not talking about gambling, I'm just talking about odds. Every single day that you try your luck at posting videos or publishing books or releasing albums, you just play away at that slot machine. And every single time you do it, you get another chance and then another. And this basically means that you have endless possibilities, and every single time that you post a new video or make a new song or whatever, you basically get closer to that 1 in 3,000. Statistically speaking, if you keep on doing that one thing and playing at the 1 in 3,000 odds, you are guaranteed to succeed. Mac Miller, for example, made over 300 songs before he became popular with the album Kids. On average, it takes about 8 hours per song. So if we do the math, that's 2,400 hours. Think about this. 2,400 hours, that is basically a 9-to-5 job for an entire year. He worked 8 hours a day with no breaks and no success or even a glimpse of hope. But eventually, after those 2,400 hours, he became one of the best artists in the world. And now when you think of Mac Miller, well, you can't even imagine him not succeeding. His superpower was delusion. He didn't care about the odds, he just somehow believed that he was the 1 in 3,000. And this is the most important driver to success. Your ability to be delusional, to ignore the world and just do everything it takes to be successful. Let me give you another example. In 1954, doctors and scientists around the world said breaking the 4-minute mile was physically impossible, that the human body would literally give out before that happens. And people believed it so deeply that it became a fact. So nobody in the world, not a single runner, managed to do it. But there was a delusional guy, a guy named Roger Bannister, and he actually beat it. And the craziest thing is, within 12 months of Bannister breaking it, 16 other runners broke the 4-mile too. That's the power of delusion. We're taught to be realistic and to not waste time doing things if the odds are too low. But all of the really successful YouTubers, artists, and businessmen, they're all delusional. They think they can find the specific grain of sand in an entire beach. On top of this ability to become delusional, there was a common second trait, and that was being consistent. Now, consistency is boring, and that's exactly why most people don't even do it. Mr. Beast posted for 5 years before he had his first viral video. 5 years of him looking like the worst loser on the planet, and 5 years of pain, but he kept pulling that lever. He was delusional. So you have delusion, the belief that you can find that specific grain of sand, and you have consistency, the willingness to keep looking even when you've searched for years. So I've tried this. I started posting on Instagram 2 years ago, and I adopted this delusional mindset and started posting videos every single day. It took me a year of consistent posting and hard work to get a little over 400 followers. But then one video went viral, and just like that, in one night, I jumped to 7,000 followers. Of course, I'm still in the process of becoming super successful, but to have 7,000 followers in a viral video made me realize that there really are no limits. Because I'm me. I'm not special. I'm from Romania. I didn't have any money or skills. I even dropped out of college. But I was delusional. So delusion plus consistency equals success. Now, being consistent and coming up with ideas every single day is very hard, but I did it all while working 9 to 5 and having a social life. Here's how. Basically, the other special ingredient to success is leverage. You don't have to be the smartest or the hardest working. You just have to find out how you can achieve your goal with the least amount of work. For me, that goal was being consistent. And I learned that if I had to ideate, script, film, and then edit one video every single day, that meant I was really stressed out and under a lot of pressure, which eventually led me to stop making content for a while. But that wasn't the end. It's okay to stop, but you have to realize that the only way to not be successful is if you stop pulling that lever and if you stop playing at that 1 in 3,000 odd. So I came back. I learned from my mistake and I tried something called batching. Basically, I recorded 15 videos all at once in like 2 days. One day for the videos of me talking, like essentially what you're seeing right here, and then the other day for all of the creative shots and B-roll. And now I only had to go through the mental struggle twice, not 15 times. It's the exact same work, but this has worked for me so well that now I'm posting daily and it's not even stressful anymore. Okay, next, I reused the shots that I already filmed to make a ton of different styles of content. Like, for example, I have well over 600 clips of me doing like a bunch of random things. And I reused those clips to make 15 more videos every month without actually having to record anything new. So to recap, I'm filming 2 days a month and I'm still posting daily instead of having to film 30 times a month. Of course, I still have to edit, but that can be outsourced, which is, leveraging your resources and time. Can do a bunch of content styles. Like, for example, there's one with text and B-roll, one with B-roll and then sound effects. There's voiceover and B-roll, so no need to record yourself actually talking. You can just talk in a microphone. And I have this system where I post one talking head video, aka the one where you're talking to the camera and showing creative B-roll. And then the next day, I post a B-roll focused video with reused content. And I'm not becoming a content machine or whatever. I'm just leveraging my time and my resources so that every single day that I pull this lever, it's just less painful. Pain is another important thing, and you have to kind of be comfortable with it. The hardest part in all of this is really every day that you go through it without seeing results. There's gonna be growth, but it's so slow that you don't even see it. And when you don't leverage your time and resources, every day just makes it harder to continue. But it's important to realize that this is just part of the process and to not really let it get to you. And I know that's easy to say, so let me show you what this looks like in real life. Because I've been living this exact process for almost 2 years now. And what I found genuinely surprised me. Yes, again, I'm still not where I want to be with my content, but success is funny. If I asked my younger self to describe success, it would probably be make enough money to have your own place, be comfortable, and make videos constantly. And although I don't have a ton of followers, I do have my own place. I managed to become financially free and I make videos constantly. So by my old definition of success, I already won. But success changes. Now my definition of success is to make like $30,000 a month, to have 100,000 subscribers, and really to have a lot of influence and to help people make better content. But I think an important part in all of this is learning to set milestones and to keep track of them, and to keep track of what you've achieved and what you still have to achieve in the future. Because if you don't have these kind of milestones, you will get lost. Trust me, you'll forget how far you came, and then you'll think you're making no progress. And that's really going back to the thing I said about success being slow. When you're part of something like this, you don't see the small everyday growth. But if you look from an outside perspective, you can really see you've come super far. So setting these milestones helped me a lot. And another thing that helped me feel better is refreshing that idea that I need to ignore reality. Like, I'm making 2 videos a week and it takes me 8 hours per video. In theory, I should be making videos for over a year to finally see results. But I just can't get past the feeling of spending those 8 hours, 8 long hours making a video and then seeing it have 60 views. And I think that's one of the hardest things to overcome. But reading autobiographies and success stories and having these kind of checkpoints helped me kind of reset this anxiety clock. Another thing I learned is this. Let's say you take 100 shots. 80 of them are gonna miss. There's nothing you can do about it. They're not going to have any kind of traction or success. You know, they're just volume, they're practice. Then you have 17 that are going to hit. Sure, they're not the most accurate and successful, but they're, you know, hits. It really helps seeing these, and really they're kind of scattered around your many misses. Then you'll have 2 that are really different. Those 2 shots are close to changing everything, but they're not, you know, game changers. Like, for example, a video with 50,000 views. They're really refreshing to see, but they're not gonna change your life. And then out of those 100 shots, you have the bullseye, the one game changer, the video with 1 million views. And I think success is a matter of these game changer shots. You only need to win once for it to change your life. And then every game changer after that just makes your life better. Like, for example, in my experience, my first 200K video changed my life because it validated everything. I got 7,000 followers, brand deals, and finally, after over a year of work with no results, I got the opportunity to move into my own place and to become financially free. The next game changer is probably going to be a viral video on YouTube that allows me to influence even more people and to have a bigger impact. So my mentality is that I just have to do 100 videos at a time for my life to change. All of these things form this reality about YouTube that a lot of people don't talk about. And I know that because I went through all of this. I went through the confusion. I went through the Reddit posts and anxious nights, but I just tried to believe at my core that I'll succeed. My lifelong dream was to become a YouTuber. And even though I have 400 subscribers and my last video hit like 60 views, I'm just that, a YouTuber. So I am successful. I am literally living my dream. So everything you need to be successful in really any field, not just YouTube, is to be delusional, to be consistent, to keep track of your achievements, and to analyze your progress. That's it. If you like this video, then subscribe, because I'm making a lot of these. And if you want to see more, I actually do post daily on Instagram. So you can follow me at RobOnFilm. I'm really passionate about this. So if you vibe with that, let me know. If you want me to talk about anything or have any questions about my experience or what I found on this crazy journey, just leave me a comment and I'll respond. Anyways, thanks for watching this video and see you in the next one.